Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. As you can see, we scored 100 again, well, over 100 with 107, and half of those points came from one singular robot himself, the Man City striker, Erling Haaland. As you can see on screen, we moved into 1.6k ranking, so not the best, definitely not the worst, but we're getting green arrows, albeit this one this week was a relatively small green arrow. Now, the team is as follows. We did have to trade in Fabian Schär, who is currently out with concussion, to get Rodon's 19. Definitely was not missing out on that. But overall, it was a fairly mediocre performance by the team. Foden was named. We obviously brought him in. Gyökeres was always going to be named. I wanted to jump in on him prior to the West Ham game, and evidently this week he was benched. So it was either risk the 19 or play Gyökeres. I decided to search for a player that obviously wasn't going to play, but was going to play in the upcoming game weeks. Newcastle have a relatively easy-ish run coming, and Shah has a low break even, good price point, enables us to go up or down if needed, and the best thing was we got Rodon's score on field. We did VC Erling Haaland, and 27 times 2 is 54, and that's more than half of our score. So that is the reason for calling the team, besides Haaland, a little bit mediocre. Now, we've already made one singular transfer, and with midweek games, obviously we have the Champions League. If you haven't seen that video, check that out for the Match Day 2 preview. Our transfer so far has been Kevin Dewsbury Hall, who, well, he's got 5 yellows. You could argue 2 of them were relatively dubious, but 5 yellows means you're suspended. Therefore, we can't use him this week. We might as well cash him out, break even high. And we have brought in Sean Longstaff to be on the bench. Now, he's on all the set pieces. He's overtaken our German man, Anton Stack, for those set pieces, the crosses, basically everything. Not too sure about free kicks, and I'm going out on a limb and saying he definitely won't be on penalties. But having said this, negative 20 break even in what I think is a relatively good fixture. If I wasn't setting up like this, then he would most definitely be on field over Stack. Tottenham, not the hardest fixture, I should say, for Leeds. So I'm more than content in bringing him in. It leaves us with just under 500,000 in the bank, down to 34 trades, and now it's time to conserve them. As we can see, I will be playing Adrian Traffeur on field. Bournemouth have been very good. Raul Jimenez of Fulham got injured, and I think that they'll probably kick the game week 7 off very nicely, hopefully with a clean sheet and a few points there. We also have Mickey van der Ven on field, always a threat from set pieces. And I think Spurs playing midweek, he'll play. He's nailed. There's no issue there at all. As I said about Fabian Schär, he does have concussion currently, so I doubt he plays midweek and potentially is available for the weekend. If he's not available against Forest, then we'll know prior to the weekend, and it'll just be a easy change of formation. Ricardo Calafiori and David Raya will be on field also to hopefully get some decent points against West Ham. And that leads me to say that Victor Gyökeres, one of our trade-ins from last week alongside Phil Foden, will be our VC in that game. The next game is Man United, which we only have Bruno. Would have been nice if he actually scored the penalty, but I mean, he's getting quite a, I guess, depending on how you look at it, bad reputation for taking penalties. Buemo may be on them now. Not entirely certain about who will be taking them, but him missing that and going negative was not good in any way, shape, or form. The next game, we only have Mohamed Salah. Now, he can score in any fixture. We have 0 Chelsea players, so that does not bother us. And again, the next game, Villa and Burnley, literally zilch, nothing. So we don't need to worry about that, except for our loop. In saying that, he's been the best captain so far this year. Just for looping, that's purely from that point of view. Then we have Jack Grealish coming up against Crystal Palace. This is the one that I'm a little bit dubious on. It's either Longstaff or Grealish for the bench. Currently, Longstaff is there alongside his teammate Anton Stack. I think Grealish, just due to the volatility of him as a playmaker and how good Everton have been lately, I know Palace have been fantastic, but I think I'm going to stick with Jack Grealish on field. The next fixture, as I alluded to earlier, we would only have Fabian Schär. If Fabian Schär obviously doesn't line up, then we will just be changing formation. Simple as that. And I'm fairly confident we'll get some information regarding that prior to the deadline. So it might work out that we actually play Longstaff and Stack together. Wolves and Brighton is the next fixture, the second last one, and we have absolutely nothing from there at all. The last fixture of the game week is Brentford and Man City. So Brentford are hosting Man City, and we obviously have Phil Foden and Haaland from there. And I'm going to sound maybe stupid, and I feel a little bit weird saying it, but I'm very confident that Foden and Haaland both suit up in this fixture. They obviously play midweek in the Champions League, but I mean, Pep was quoted as saying Foden is very happy only having 3 days break and being able to play a full 90, and Haaland is not going to be rested this early in the season. I'm very confident of that. So this is the team and how it will be lining up for game week 7. Now, the reason that I'm bringing Longstaff in is I actually really like the look of Jared Bowen next week onwards. So they do have, West Ham obviously have Arsenal this week, and I don't think that's going to be a high scoring encounter for West Ham. I think they will fail to score. I hope they fail to score because I've got double defensive Arsenal assets. Yes, Arsenal play midweek in the Champions League, but I'm very confident that they beat West Ham. Although West Ham have a new manager and the new manager bounce is, well, if you believe in first game juju and all that, the Gandhi prophecy, which I definitely do because I've been shafted many a times from that, then you will believe in the new manager bounce. Now, I'm hoping Bowen doesn't go bananas, and therefore it is an easy flip of Longstaff, potentially looking at his break even next week. Then he just goes straight to Bowen, and that's one of our midfield spots sewn up for the season, barring injury. But overall, this is how the team will be lining up. I'm sure something will go wrong midweek due to all these Champions League fixtures. I mean, should get news on Schär early enough to make a decision on that. And if we don't, I mean, we can react accordingly. But this is the team. We are down to 34 trades, just under 500k in the bank. We did score 107 and we have moved into 8.6k on the rankings, which I'm very happy with. We're stringing along these we're stringing along these green arrows, which is, I mean, that's all you can ask for at this point in time. As always, if you are enjoying the content, then please make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you're doing this week. What's your plans? I see a lot of people going to Gabriel, and that's more than viable. Playing for arguably and statistically one of the best defenses in the league. Low break even and about as nailed as any defender in the league. And got good aerial set piece threat as well. I myself am not going there, but maybe in the coming weeks we might look to get another Arsenal defensive asset in alongside the two that we currently have. As always, thank you so much for viewing. Thank you so much for engaging. And if you're dropping by the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. And I'm sure that I will see you on either the next FPL video, the next Supercoach video, or the next UCL video. So make sure you leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you're not. Thank you once again.
If you've enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe, and don't check out the website at supercoachswordplay.com.